decrease. So then we gradually dry her off or stop milking her. It's called going dry. So our cow is dry for a couple months and has a rest. Then she will have her next calf and start the milking cycle all over again. So on our dairy farms, we do have cows going dry and calving at all different times of the year so that we always have a constant supply of milk. Now, one of the questions we are asked most often is, why are these cows so bony? She's a big cow, but she's bony. And yes, she is. You can see her hip bones, you can see her backbone. But when you look at this cow, she's a picture of health for a dairy cow. She's in very, very good shape. Dairy animals are meant to be lean. They do not put a lot of muscle mass on their bodies like a beef animal does, which is, of course, the meat that we eat. They don't put a lot of fat on, of course, but they are producing fat. It's all given out in the milk in the form of cream. So if we don't feed our dairy cows, they don't produce milk for us. So some of the things that we're feeding, our dairy cows usually get some type of grain ration every day. Ours, you hear, get it twice a day. Linda's got a sample of some there. It's got some oats and some barley in it and some corn. It's got some little brown pellets that are protein pellets that's vegetable based. It's got some black pellets that are beet pulp left over from the sugar beet industry in southern Alberta. It's got some molasses maybe, some salt and some minerals. You could actually, it looks like a big bowl of granola, so you could actually take a handful and eat it because we don't put anything harmful in the food for our dairy cows. It contains no antibiotics. We use no animal byproducts in our feed. And another good thing in Canada, we don't use milk-producing hormones on our dairy cows. So we always have a good, safe supply of milk here because we feed our animals and look after them. Now, something else that we feed our cows is hay. Hay is dried grass or alfalfa. Typically, July and August are haying weather for our farmers here. We cut the grass down or the alfalfa, and alfalfa is a legume that's produced. It's got lots of good protein in it. It's lots of protein for milk-producing cows. But we cut it down, lay it to dry. When it's dry properly, we bale it up, and that's what we call hay. We have to put up enough hay in July and August to last us all year because we're feeding cows 365 days a year. And they have to have lots of good forage and roughage as well as the grain. Now, once we finish milking our cow, I dip her teats back in the iodine teat dip, but this time I don't wipe it off. I let it dry on there. See, cows aren't very careful sometimes about what they lay in, so it kind of seals over and makes sure that no harmful bacteria get up in that udder. The other nice thing about this is it has moisturizers and conditioners in it so that the cow's teats don't get dry and chapped. Because believe me, there's nothing worse than milking a cow with chapped teats. Now, cattle are ruminants. Okay. And cattle have no teeth on the top of their mouth at the front. They only have teeth on the bottom at the front, but they do have big flat molars on the top and the bottom, and they use those for grinding. And right now, Delilah is doing what we're talking about. She is chewing her cud. So what cattle do is they use their long, rough tongue, and they take a lot of food into their mouth in a very short period of time, and they chew it up a little and swallow it. But it hasn't been chewed up enough the first time to be digested properly. So later on, while she's at rest and full, which she's relaxed right now, you can see that, she brings a cud of this partially chewed food back into her mouth and chews it a certain number of times, and then she swallows. She just swallowed, another one will come up, and then she starts chewing again. So once she swallows the one, it goes down into the third and fourth stomach sections because ruminants have 4 parts to their stomach, and they belong to the same group of animal as deer and goats and sheep, and they all do rechew their food. So cows spend at least 8 hours a day ruminating or chewing their cud. So they're using their time very efficiently. Now we poured the milk out. This is what we call raw or unpasteurized milk. Go ahead, you can pass it. If you want to dump it, you can there, Greg. The only people allowed to drink raw unpasteurized milk here in Canada are the dairy farmers that produce it on their own farms. It is against the law to give away or sell unpasteurized milk. So one of the things that happens with our milk when we send it to the dairy is they pasteurize it. They heat it to a very high temperature and quickly cool it, and that way if there's any harmful bacteria in the milk, it's all destroyed. One of the other things we do at the dairy, we separate our milk, which means we remove all of the cream from the milk. So we have skim milk and then we have cream. So then they add back 1% cream to make the 1%, 2% for 2%, and 3.25% for homogenized milk. Now all of our breeds of dairy cows give a lot more cream than even homogenized milk contains. So there's lots of cream left over then for things like butter, ice cream, sour cream, and of course cream for our Timmies, right? So, we do have a couple of other displays that I'd like you to go visit. In the Agri Western Event Center,